first thing I bought there was All Souls Day, which has Danny Trejo, Jeffrey Combs, Ramirez, Ellie Connell, and I mean it's basically a Day of the Dead zombie movie, and it's about All Souls Day or Dia de los Muertos, the Mexican Day of the Dead, and I thought that was a cool idea. And the great thing is I feel like after Halloween there's kind of like that it's over kind of feeling. This can kind of keep that going for at least another day because All Souls Day is November 1st, the day after Halloween. So you can pop this in on All Souls Day, or even after going to a cemetery and partaking in some Day of the Dead celebrations, because I happen to know they do that in certain areas of the states. I think even here in Indianapolis we have some events for All Souls Day around the state. And another movie that I bought at Disc Replay, which this was obviously by the look of the box an old video rental, but still had great quality video. It's called Pumpkin Carver, with a K, and it's just a generic run-of-the-mill, independent, low-budget slasher film. The slasher character's kind of interesting. This actually wasn't too terrible for the kind of greatest slasher movie it was, but definitely not anything I'm going to recommend you go run out and buy right away. But it was a good for the buy. And both of these movies were each $3.33, which before tax comes to a total of $6.66. I thought that was kind of cool, but I'm a dork. Cut. Another slasher combo DVD that I picked up recently is Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer. So the first two Scarecrow movies, which the third one is Scarecrow's Gone Wild. I don't know how that compares to these two, but I actually really enjoyed Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer. I thought it was a unique take on Scarecrow, walking scarecrows, and slasher films. Definitely good stories for both. It kind of makes you feel like Pumpkinhead with the way that the stories play out. And I mean, two movies on this one disc. Tony Todd's even in the second one, so I mean, I love Tony Todd. This is definitely worth picking up. And I actually happened to find this at a dollar store. This movie, both of these movies on one disc cost me $1.07. That includes Indiana state tax. Oh my God. Wow. $1 for this great double feature. If you happen to find one at a dollar store, pick it up. I would have even probably paid five to probably $8 for this movie. Individually even. I enjoyed them that much, but that was just a great steal that I happened to find. Moving along, this is The Night That Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. This is the uncut version, released by Cinema Diaboli, which it's letterboxed. There's also another version that I believe Alpha Videos come out with, but it's cut. It cuts out some of the naughtier bits in this movie, and there's quite a few naughty bits in this movie, as far as like not actually showing nudity. There is nudity, but it's pretty well tame, and it's not overly gratuitous, but a little bit. It's an old Eurotrash movie, so that kind of behavior is to be expected. And this is really the title's a little misleading, and I'm not going to give away too much. But Erica Blanc's in this movie, which she was also in The Devil's Nightmare. She played the succubus in that movie. And this is actually a pretty decent movie. It kind of plays out like an old EC horror comic, like more like the ones where there's betrayal and like a whole love triangle and double crossing over. And this movie has a lot of twists and turns in it, and that's what makes it cool. And I mentioned Erica Blanc, and she plays a go-go dancer, a striptease dancer in the movie. And there's the part where her character's introduced. She does a striptease where she comes out of a coffin and blows candles out as she's dancing, and that was pretty cool. The end of this movie is probably the biggest surprise, and I mean, again, this isn't one of those movies that's, oh my God, you absolutely positively have to see this movie before you die. It's one of those movies that, wow, it's a little nugget of gold that you find at the bottom of a pile of mud. That's the best way I can describe this movie. It's full of little moments that make you go, oh, that's cool. and it was really enjoyable to watch. But again, greatest movie of the century, not likely at all. But I really enjoyed the movie. Definitely worth checking out. And I'm going to wrap this segment up by talking about a movie that I rented via Netflix first. And I've been a Netflix member for close to half a year now. And I can say that it's definitely worth your time and money to invest in a Netflix subscription, especially if you have an Xbox, a Wii, a PlayStation 3, or any other Netflix capable device, like a Blu-ray player, what have you. Because you can stream movies instantly if you have that kind of functionality, which is definitely worth your time and money. They have you can add movies to your instant queue online. They have a selection of instant stream movies that you can select from on the whatever device you're on. It'll rotate them every so often, and of course you can get discs through mail up to 3 at a time. So there's 3 plans. There's 1 disc at a time, 2 discs at a time, and 3 discs at a time. I recommend the 2 disc at a time plan. And one of the movies that I happened to rent from Netflix was this movie here, I Sell the Dead, which I cannot get enough of this movie right now. That's why I actually bought a copy after having rented it on Netflix. In fact, I've seen it a total of 3 times so far, and I'm probably going to watch it again soon just because I enjoy it so much. It's a movie by horror fans for horror fans, and this takes us back more to the era of Evil Dead and, Reanimator, where people are making movies because they enjoy making movies. And the special effects for the movie are top notch. The story was great. It basically highlights a story of a couple of grave robbers, and it's just absolutely cool. And the cast is amazing. You've got Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings and Lost. You have Ron Perlman from Hellboy and Sons of Anarchy. And of course, this movie also features Angus Scrimm of the Phantasm series, which he's classic as always. I cannot get enough of Angus Scrimm. Amazing. And the story is just completely phenomenal. If you pick up this DVD version, it comes with a full comic book as an insert of the movies. But this movie is definitely worth your time and money. Definitely pick this one up. You will not be disappointed if you like weird kind of movies. It's not really like a serious horror film. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, more like a Shaun of the Dead type film. It's definitely a breath of fresh air. They borrowed a lot of things from other horror movies. Like the title credits themselves are a quite obvious rip-off of the title credits from Reanimator. They took some liberties and changed things around a little bit, but I felt very much like I was watching the opening credits of Reanimator. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I think that it was done as an homage and not just blatantly ripping them off. And it was a well-done homage at that. That, and at the beginning there's a guillotine scene where someone's head gets cut off, and the camera goes red and it spirals around the severed head, much like the opening scene in Wizard of Gore, which is a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. And back to the credits of Reanimator, even the credits of Reanimator kind of took some liberty there and borrowed from another movie. So you notice the theme from Reanimator is very similar to the Psycho suite from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It's just kind of taking the homage a step further. And again, I really enjoyed the movie. I've watched it a few times already. I know I'm going to watch it several other times down the road. Definitely worth checking out. I cannot stress enough, you at least have to check this movie out, at least rent it. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was one of the better movies to come out. And it's because it's original. It's a very original film, very original story, and a great take. This movie is for grave robbers what Pirates of the Caribbean was for pirates. So, and what Ninja Assassin was for ninjas. That's all I have for this Uberdemons movie morgue. I hope to have a couple more of these lined up in the near future. Just stay tuned, and thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks to all my current subscribers that have stayed loyal. That's why I'm doing this. If it wasn't for you guys, I probably wouldn't continue doing this. If you have any suggestions, comments, feel free to post them on my page. And I'm always happy to hear feedback from my subscribers. And I'll see you next time. Stay tuned here on YouTube.